this is David B69. Welcome to today's video. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell for future videos. Let's get on to the show. Hey everybody, this is David B69, and I am back with Glitch. He came back for week 2, well, week 3, technically, because we did the first week without him. Which he's still hating us for. But anyways, he really doesn't hate it and everything. He didn't like the topic. Anyways, today's discussion will be a retro game that I can't read my own writing. You could go back to and play today. See, this is called our my little script and everything, and I can't even read my own freaking writing. It's because it's so bad. Anyways, that is not the topic of today, is my bad writing, but that is the topic, and we are going to discuss it. But before we do any of that, we always like to have a little thing and everything saying, what are we currently doing? I mean, I know it's only been a week, but what have you been playing?
I've been grinding, so I still haven't finished Wukong. Black Myth Wukong. I need to finish that game. But I've been playing on the side. Cyberpunk 2077. That game's elite. Like it takes you about 5 to 6 hours to get into the game, and then it takes you about another 5 hours to really get into the game. But once you're there, like it's good.
Yeah, I got the game last Christmas, and I still have yet to get an hour into the game. It was really just. It was that game breaking to me where I couldn't continue and I didn't play anymore because I wasn't having fun. But I'm gonna listen to your recommendation. I still have a backlog and everything that I'm trying to get through and everything to get back to it. But I will get back to that game. But I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for some reason. Just started replaying it again with Will. And I'm actually really enjoying myself. Having a lot of fun playing my own way. And
the wrong way.
He says it's the wrong way, but it's my way, and I'm playing it, and I'm having a good time. I beat the hag last night. And yes, I did let her live. And I did steal her hair, and I got all those things to go up and stuff. So it's cool. I'm like I said, having a good time, and playing that game. It's all enjoyable. It's all fun. But let's get into our topic, and I'm gonna let myself go first, if that's okay with you, on the game that I find that I go back to most. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh no, Dad's going to be talking about a stupid retro baseball game or a stupid retro football game that I don't care about, or a stupid basketball game. It's like there are all these things and stuff and everything that I go back to and I play all the time. Guess what? I love all of that and I will go back to it all the time. But that's not what I'm thinking about. There's one game in particular that I am thinking about that is so retro that it's never been remade. It's never been redone. And it's a crime, honestly. And it is Mario Kart Double Dash. In my opinion, Mario Kart Double Dash is the elite replayable, great kart racer. Do you have any arguments against that, sir?
Against that being the best retro kart racer, or are we just talking best replayable kart racer?
Replayable retro kart racer.
Replayable retro kart racer. Well, first of all, we got to get into what retro is, and for me, it's about 20 years old. Okay. So under that definition, 2005 or older, I'll call retro. So at the moment, retro. At the moment, retro kart racer. I mean, the problem with Double Dash is Double Dash doesn't have a lot of courses. And Double Dash also has... Double Dash is mild. It only has 4 cups, which I guess at the time is fine.
Which is 16, but I feel like something 16 like courses.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot.
Plus you get reverse.
That's not a new course.
That's 32.
It's not a new course.
It's backwards. You're doing
It's the same exact thing. Anyways, Double Dash is probably the, at least up there. I feel like Diddy Kong Racing needs a shout, however, though, because Diddy Kong Racing has a whole story mode attached to it, and also had multiple vehicles, which really inspired games like the Sonic racing series, and kind of just was very, very different and new for its time.
Are you talking about like Sonic? Is it Sonic Forces? Was it
Sonic Transformed Racing? I think.
The Transformer. You're talking about that's the PS3 360 version.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying
inspired a game that came out later.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking Sonic.
Mario Kart Double Dash was a cool gimmick, but it really
to me and everything that gimmick made it like really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
And it made it for like when like you were basically like a teeny bopper that could only push one button and everything and had no idea what they were doing otherwise. It made you part of the game and part of the thing, which I found to be like really cool. And it helped got you into video games because something that you actually did was like actually good and everything and fun for the game. I mean, to me, as a parent, it basically gave me good memories that it's like I could just get you and basically play the game and push the button, and you were happy as could be. And you were thinking you were driving the entire time and everything. You wouldn't even think anything of it because you were a teeny bop. But anyways, that's my opinion.
The game feels bad to drive.
The game feels great to drive.
No, it does not.
Okay, well, this is
I'd
why we
play Mario Kart on the SNES.
You rather play Mario Kart in the SNES. Mario Kart in the SNES is extremely rough.
But it handles better than Double Dash. Let me tell you what.
Wow. Hot takes are had today. Okay, so what is your retro game that you would play today?
I mean, there's a good chunk. Again, if you follow the definition of 20 years, because I feel like that's pretty fair. I mean, because like retro games have been talked about since like I was a kid, and those games would be like N64 era, and stuff like that. So even that would be like maybe not even 20 years, or about done. So I think about
N64 is 30 years. So
from what?
From now.
Well, I meant from when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
So like retro games have like retro game isn't a new concept. So
retro games when you were a kid was an NES.
Yeah. So anyways, so retro games have been around for plenty of time and been in discussion. So I think 20 years is a pretty solid definition. So under that definition, the first one that comes to mind is Kingdom Hearts 1. And Kingdom Hearts 2 sits right on the borderline. It came out in Japan at the end of 2005. And it came out early 2006 in the US. So I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of qualifies, kind of doesn't. But Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are both right on the, Kingdom Hearts 2 is on the edge. But those games are incredible. Some of my favorite games of all time. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of all time. So obviously I can go back and replay that at any time. But there's a lot of really good ones. The Mario sports titles on the GameCube are all-time great games, every single one of them. And then I think Smash Melee on the GameCube also big stamp of approval, just because that's an esport that's lasted the test of time and is still being played today despite Nintendo's best efforts. And the last game that I'll bring up is not like one of my favorite games of all time, but just one of the retro games that I think has stood the test of time the best out of maybe any retro game, just objectively, would be Mario 64, which I think has really just a really timeless game. I think in 20 years, people will still be able to have fun playing Mario 64. And I feel like that's not necessarily true for all of the games that I mentioned. But I think Mario 64 is really just a timeless classic.
Now, we talked about that being a timeless classic last night, and we were actually having these pre-discussions about this episode last night. And the topic and everything that you stated was a very hot topic because I completely disagreed with your viewpoint. I mean, I understand your viewpoint. I mean, you like made it like very clear, but I disagree with it. How did you play Mario 64? On what system did you play Mario 64 on?
I played Mario 64. I mean, maybe when I was like too young to remember, I played on the 64. But I mean, really, I played on the Wii, emulating the game.
With what controller?
With a GameCube controller, which is also the best controller ever made, by the way.
But is it truly retro?
Yes.
When you're playing with a controller that is not the original suit for a game? And I'm asking you at home and everything to comment down below on this subject, because we're not going to agree. We just totally do not agree on this subject.
Way for the fans. If you boot up Pong, which is the oldest game.
Pong, you need to use the
and
old
you play Pong
thing
on a PlayStation 5 controller,
you're wrong.
Or an Xbox Series X controller, whatever you want. You are playing a retro game. The game is retro. The game did not boot into 2025, 2020, whatever year the PlayStation 5 came out. The year of the game does not change by the controller, because the game is the game. The controller is the vehicle in which we explore that game. The controller is a very important medium of how we encounter games, but it does not define the gaming experience.
And that's where I'll disagree. I feel that the Nintendo 64 controller totally defined the gaming experience. And I basically would just, it's like all my memories are built with that controller. I mean, can I play Mario 64 on the GameCube controller, on the Switch controls, using a Pro controller? Yes, I could do all of that. But my first love of the game and the things that bring my memories back to the past, back to 20 years ago.
That's irrelevant.
Actually 30 years ago, and for the sake of Mario 64, is using the Nintendo 64 controller.
Whether or not that's what you remember with the game has no regard as to whether or not that is the retro experience or not. But the retro experience of a title is predicated still on the title.
I like I said, these are the things that we're going to disagree on.
Having a bad controller like the N64 controller, the worst controller of all time. Maybe some of Sega's stuff, but Sega always has trash controllers, so I'm not even going to go into that.
Don't even go there.
Sega had one good controller in its lifetime, and that was the Dreamcast controller. Other than that, complete trash.
Wow.
I don't know what the ABC situation they were doing was, but
the ABC XYZ, the best controller ever known to man. It was on the best one and everything was the Sega Saturn, for the controllers on the Sega. By far the best controller known to man for form comfort and for a button configuration. I will go with the Sega Saturn controller. I really wasn't.
Never picked up a PlayStation or Xbox controller.
What?
You heard me.
Oh my goodness. See, he's throwing them down, guys. What is your comments below? What's your favorite controller too? I mean, we might as well just throw in all these topics. And it's like, and Matt says if you say, or Glitch says if you say GameCube, you're wrong.
No,
it's not your
right. If you don't say GameCube, you're wrong. You can say GameCube, you can say PlayStation 4. Otherwise, it's just wrong.
Okay. Well, that is the topic for this week. It's a hot topic. Any surprise things that you're throwing at me today?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. We're not going to have any surprise topics today. We already did and everything with the controller and stuff. But, we just have a conversation. And I hope you are enjoying these conversations because they're kind of like a little fun to play. They're little snippets of the week. And it's kind of like one of those things that I want to keep the algorithm moving, which is the whole point of making these videos because they are fun and they're something that we can do together. So, anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Until next time, this is David B69.
This is Glitch.
Peace. We're out.